Hi, and welcome to my video series. I'm Christy Watts of Christy Watts Coaching, and today I want to talk about conflict resolution. Ever since I've been making these videos, part of the process of making the videos is talking about things that personally happen to me. So things that are going on in my life, things that are going on with my family, things that are going on in my business, and or with clients, or just kind of in that general realm. And so today there was something that happened that was rather unpleasant, and I just wanted to talk about it and talk about how possibly, what my role in it was and different ways that I could have reacted, and then kind of talk about the outcome and what's going on. So earlier today, I parked in a parking spot where the person next to me had parked too far into that spot. And my rationalization was, it's the post office. They probably didn't have a passenger. I'm going to park closer to that car to give the other person next to me some more space so they don't have to squeeze in and out of their car. And probably this person who parked this close will be gone when I come back. So I came out of the post office, and she was coming up to her truck, and the lady needed to get in the passenger side door, and she asked me to move my car. But I was walking across the street to the bank, and normally I would have just moved my car. But then in my head, I'm like, I don't really want to move my car. I don't want to have to find parking again. I don't want to have to start my car up, waste gas, pollute the environment for reasons that I don't need to. So I told her that I was unwilling to do that. And I said, no, I'm sorry. I'm actually walking across the street to the bank. The woman got very upset and started screaming at me and yelling at me. And I kind of laughed at her because I really thought she was joking because it was so absurd to me. And the gentleman carrying her boxes, who was the worker at the post office, was just like, whoa, lady, it's fine. And I said, well, are you leaving? Can you just pull forward and then he can get into your car? And so she did. She pulled forward. The guy put the package in the passenger side seat, and I walked over to the bank. Well, I was getting over to the bank, and then I decided that, God, she just, I just didn't feel right about that situation. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like, I know who she is. The people at the post office knows who she is. Like, don't worry about it. And so when I came back from the bank, my car had been keyed, and I saw her close her passenger door and walk over in between my car and her car and duck down, look around, and then walk back to her car. And I thought maybe she left me a nasty note. So I went back, by the time I got back over there was a huge gouge in my car. So that's what I want to show today. Giant gouge in my car, which the estimates are running closer to $2,000 right now to fix that. And so I have to look at my part in this, and could I have handled this differently? And yes, I laughed when she was screaming, because part of me just thought it was so silly, it was so absurd. I didn't antagonize, I didn't yell back, I didn't tell her she was ridiculous. I just said, I'm sorry, I'm not leaving right now. I know that people are either in love or crying out for love, and this is definitely one of those examples of someone crying out for love. And I know who this lady is. I don't actually know her, but I know who she is, and it's just, I don't know anything about her background, but it just makes me sad that someone could be this upset and this antagonized over something so silly as a parking spot. And, even when it was clearly her fault, that you would get so mad as to do something like this to somebody's car. That's the little police stamp on it about how long it was. But yeah, for conflict resolution and dealing with people, one, you don't know what they're capable of. Two, you don't know what they're going through. And just being compassionate in all situations. Clearly this lady has a lot of pain in her life and a lot of suffering, and that you could do something like this to someone over something so as insignificant as a parking spot, and not even like stealing it or taking it. But I'm still in shock. I'm still thinking it's so silly. But anyways, that's what I wanted to share with you today, that you never know what people are going through. So always be kind and always be nice and follow your truth and follow your heart, and just know that whatever they have going on, it's probably something that you can't even imagine. It's something so painful for them to be doing this type of behavior. And just to realize this, I mean, if they were a child, would you talk to a child that way? Like, I think about it and I'm like, my 5-year-old, if he was throwing a temper tantrum like this, would I laugh at him? I'm like, hopefully not. I try not to, even when it is pretty ridiculous. But at the same time, like, I'm nice and compassionate, and you need to be nice and compassionate to all humans, not just your own 5-year-old. So with conflict resolution, just own your part of it and try and be as kind to others as you can. And just know, there's a lot of sadness in this world, and you don't want to add to that. So that's it from me today. Sorry this post is a little longer. It was a little bit more personal and painful. Interesting. So anyways, don't let this happen to your car. Be nice to people. That's it from me. Thanks for listening, and have a good day.